Where's Dr. Marcus? I'm Dr. Marcus.
Jim!
Is that David?
I'm about to ask probably one of the stupidest questions that I have ever asked on this channel since I started. Is this the first time that Kirk and David ever met? It's been over 40 years since The Wrath of Khan was released in theaters. 1982 to be precise, and to be even more specific, it's been 44 years. 1982 this movie was released, and now, after 44 years, a question is being asked that, is this the first time that Kirk ever met his son David? Just to play it safe, I decided to check Google to see if there was some information that maybe over the years that came out that I was missing, or there was some behind the scenes stuff that we didn't know about. And according to Google, they wanted to make it very clear that Kirk never had any interaction, didn't even know David existed. He knew that Carol was pregnant, but he didn't know anything else beyond that.
I did what you wanted. I stayed away. Why didn't you tell him?
How can you ask me that? Were we together? Were we going to be? You had your world, and I had mine. And I wanted him in mine, not chasing through the universe with his father.
Is it possible that maybe, just maybe, we could have misinterpreted this entire conversation between Jim and Carol? Is it possible that maybe Kirk met his son long ago and David just doesn't remember it? Well, I did another Google search on that. And according to Google, this whole scene right here and this conversation, there was more to this script. And it was deleted. I guess they felt like it wasn't necessary. But basically, the script wanted to reinforce the fact that Kirk never met his son. He acknowledged and he knew that Carol was pregnant, but he never met David at all. But why am I bringing all this up? Well, let's get to that right now. Well, it's been a while since I've done any type of article or any reading at all from Screen Rant, but check this out right here. Strange New Worlds. That's right, the 4th season of Strange New Worlds, which is going to premiere on Paramount Plus on July 23rd of this year. Star Trek Strange New Worlds showrunner explains why Season 4's Wrath of Khan's shakeup isn't Retcon. You know, right off the bat, just from the title of this article, you know something ain't right. Something is not kosher with this story. Definitely something's going on here, and you know they're going to be messing with the Wrath of Khan again. Strange New World has a bug up their butt about rewriting the history of Khan and just changing the history of Star Trek. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article, I promise you that, but this is something we definitely need to address here. Season 4 will explore a corner of Kirk's personal life that was previously touched on in the 1982 Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan. And Myers explains why fans don't need to worry about this causing continuity issues.
Bullshit.
Akiva Goldsman revealed that David Marcus, Kirk's son, will appear in the 4th season of Strange New Worlds. What is it with this series about rewriting history? I don't understand it. The Wrath of Khan, they have just done so much damage rewriting Khan's history. Now they're rewriting the relationship between Kirk and David, and they want to argue that this is just a minor tweak. It's no big deal. Why? What in the world does that do here? How does that take away or add to the character of Kirk and his relationship to David when in the Wrath of Khan, David doesn't even know who the hell he is? I don't want to call it a rewrite, but it's like rethinking. The experience of David was not part of the series because they didn't really figure David out until the movies. No, they didn't really figure David out until the movies. David wasn't even a thought until the Wrath of Khan. Let's just cut that out right now. Kirk Kirk is heroic, and none of us wanted to imagine that he's a lousy dad. So they offered a lot of opportunities about how to get him into this emotional state. I guess that's what they're trying to say here, which is a bunch of crap. Rewriting the history of the Wrath of Khan, rewriting the relationship between David and Kirk is a huge mistake.
And I had mine.
Kirk, David's father?
Not chasing through the universe with his father.
That's why he went, like, said, I'm Dr. Marcus. That's why he stopped and stared at him, because he realized it was his son.
He does have some of that Kirk attitude.
And
One of the things that I've enjoyed over the years is going through YouTube and watching people who have never seen the Wrath of Khan before and their reactions. YouTube has a ton of reactions to this movie. And a 40-year-old movie still amazes young people today. The Wrath of Khan is an iconic film with a great story. And when it comes to Kirk finding out about his son, it's a surprise that a lot of people absolutely love. And what Strange New Worlds does, and what they're planning on doing, is just wrong. Coming in and rewriting the history of something so iconic just so they can have people watch their show is a crime beyond belief, and this is something that needs to be stopped. And in fact, if I was Paramount Pictures, I would be out there demanding that anyone who gets their hand on this property again, anybody who starts writing for Star Trek again, is to leave our classic IPs, our classic films alone and stop reimagining this crap just so you can score points.
My life is complicated. Not time travel complicated, but I'm in a relationship. A sometimes relationship, and right now is one of those times in a very real way.
Oh my God, if I'd have known,
How could you have? I actually think you'd like Carol. You're both dedicated to your jobs intensely.
Strange New Worlds goes out of its way to reimagine these characters in places and in timelines that they never were in, just so they can prop up their show. And I have covered this from over and over again, and it just kills me that they get away with this nonsense. They've damaged the Star Trek timeline so badly over the years, but thank God we've got another 16 episodes to go, and then Strange New Worlds is gone. Now, Paramount has promised that they are going to repair the damage with a whole brand new set of films and a whole new brand new set of series that are going to be coming out. But how in the world can Star Trek recover from this amount of retconning that Strange New Worlds has just done to it? The franchise is seriously damaged, and I do not think there's any way that they can ever recover it. Well, my friends, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this retconning of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan's David and Kirk's meeting. Please drop those comments below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.